D is like the second number.
Good.
And C is the third number.
Good.
The last number.
Good. So a trinomial, good. We have 3 terms. We have 3 parts. There we go. So we have y is equal to 3 different things. We have, just like you said, Tahi, we have a in front of x squared, b in front of x, and we have c, the last term.
Yeah.
Good. So this is also a quadratic function. Okay. It's a trinomial, that's one word for it. And this is also a quadratic, like we talked about. We graphed a whole bunch of those last unit. So last time we talked about when a is 1, and that makes it a little bit easier. So last time we came, we did a little bit easier. Today it's going to be a little bit harder because a is not always going to be 1. So we're going to talk about how to factor if a is something like 2 or 3. So we're still going to use this x method, but instead of just putting c up here, we're going to do a times c. Does that sound familiar? Have you learned this before? Maybe? If not, that's okay. We're reviewing and that's okay if we're learning it too. So we do a times c, and we put b in the middle. So that's the same. B still goes in the middle. And then we're going to find factors of this number, a times c, that add up to b. Okay. All right, so let's do an example up here. Oh, my notes are up here. Let's redo this one. There we go. So we look here, a is 2, b is -7, c is 6. So we take the first number, 2, we multiply it by 6, and we put 12 up at the top. And we put b, -7, down at the bottom. So it's the same thing, but we just put a times c at the top. Good.
So we have like that. So we're setting up the equation almost?
Yeah, almost. So just like we did last time, but instead of 1 here, we have a different number. Yeah, good. So then same thing. What are 2 numbers that multiply to get 12? Okay. And then, yes? And then add to get -7. So let's look at that one. What if we have -2 and we'd have to have -6? So when we add these together, what are we going to get? Sorry? Oh, when we multiply, we'll get +12. But what if we add -12 plus -6? When we add them, we'll get -8. So if we add these, we'll get -8. So we're almost there. We're pretty close.
3 and 4?
Yes, good. So -3 times -4, that gives us +12. So if this is a positive, either these both need to be negative or both need to be positive. Okay, and then this is negative, so we know they both need to be negative. So when we add them, -3 plus -4 gives you -7. Good. Okay. So we're not done yet. So we wanted to factor this. So what we need to do is we need to put these into factors. And today we have an extra step. So we have x -3 and x -4. But what we need to do, hello. Thanks. We just need to take a. So whatever a is, we're going to divide the number by a. So we'll do 3 divided by a and 4 divided by a. And then the next thing we need to do is to simplify. So this one we can't simplify. So we'll move to the next one. What's 4 divided by 2? 2. Good. So we have x -2 is one of the factors. And then since we can't simplify this, we can't leave it as a fraction either. So this is called the bottom-up method. We're going to take the bottom of the fraction and move it up in front of x. Okay, so we have 2x -3 is our other factor. So then this would be our answer.
I have a question.
Yes,
How come we can't simplify that, the 2x -3? Like.
Oh, here? So,
no, the bottom.
This one?
Yeah. I'm not simplifying like to get an answer. Like if we did 2 times 3, so it would be x times 6.
Oh, so yeah. So I guess our method is we just move the 2 up, and that's how we get the right answer. So then if we wanted to check, we would do the FOIL method. Do you remember that? The first outside, inside, last. So we would multiply first times the first, outside times the outside, inside times the inside, last times the last, and then we'll get back to this if you wanted to double check. So that 2x times x gives us that 2x squared. So that's one way to check that. Okay, questions on that? All right, let me hand out our assignment and we'll do a few examples. This is really, there's not a lot of space on here. So you can either use the back or I will hand out some scratch paper. There we go. Yeah. Okay, let's do a few of these together. Okay, so the first couple, oh, let me also hand out, does anyone want a scratch paper, just a blank paper to work on? Yep. You can use the back, if you can fit it on there, you can do that. Anyone else want some scratch paper? Scratch paper back here. Okay. All right, if you decide you want some scratch paper, I'll leave it up here. All right, here we go. So let's look at one like last time. I'm gonna grab some scratch paper. Where A is 1. And we'll still use our same method today. So let's try. Let's try number 3. So 3, what is A? Good, A is 1. So I'm going to still use the same method that we talked about today. So it's going to be 1. So A times C. What's C here? What? Yeah, good, -4. I heard some of you guys saying it, but I couldn't hear it. All right. And then what needs to go underneath? What needs to go at the bottom? Good, 3. Okay, so we have -4 up here and we have 3 down here. So how are we going to multiply to get -4 and then add to get 3?
-3 and 1 or -1 and 3?
So let's look at, yeah. So -1 and 4, -1 and 4 is going to work. So negative times a positive gives us a negative. So if there's a negative up here, then we know that only one of these can be negative. And then, like you were deciding, whoa, we have to decide which one is negative. Because this number is positive, then the bigger number needs to be positive. So 4 minus 1 gives us 3. Okay, so we're not done yet. We need to put it in our factors, right? So the variable here is n. N minus 1, n plus 4. And then, just like, so we could stop here, but a is 1, so we could just do divide by a. What's -1 divided by 1? Still -1. And then what's 4 divided by 1?
4.
Still 4. So we're doing the same method as last time. We didn't have to do anything last time because the A was 1. So then that would be my answer. My answer would be n minus 1, n plus 4. Okay, so basically the same as last time if A is 1. But there's a lot on here that most of them are A is not 1. So let's look at some of those. So look through there, see if there's any you want to do together.
23.
Okay, 23. On the left side, kind of down at the bottom. I'm just going to turn my paper. Okay, so we need to set it up. We need to set this x up. So what needs to go on the top up here? Okay. So we need 8 times 35. A times C. I don't know what that is, so I'm just going to use my calculator. Let me grab this other calculator. So we have 8 times 35. That gives me 280. And then B is 61, so negative 61 goes down here. So I need factors of 280 that add up to negative 61. Does anyone know them off the top of your head? So this is hard for me, so what I like to do is I'm trying to get to 280, so I list all the factors that I can think of. So I'm going to do 280, oh, it's kind of fuzzy. That didn't help. Let's do it. Okay, so 280 divided by 2, 140. 140 times 2. Well, that's not, there's not 61 difference between there. So let's try a different one. How about 280? Maybe 4 goes in there. So 70 times 4 is 180, but let's see. That's still not 61 different here. Or they don't add up to 61. Okay, how about 5? 280 divided by 5. So 56 times 5. Could we get 61 out of this? So if we add them, maybe 56 plus 5. Gives us 61. So this one will work. So negative 56 times negative 5 gives us 280. Negative 56 plus negative 5 gives us negative 61. We're doing okay so far? Okay, so then we need to put this, so this is 23. We need to put these into our factors. So we have our variable is n minus 56 divided by 8. So we're dividing by a. I'm getting the 8 from the a. And then n minus 5 divided by 8. So here, can we simplify? What's 56 divided by 8? Does that work?
5 divided by 8.
Yep, so 56 divided by 8 is 7. If you're good at multiplication, you'll be really fast at this. I'm kind of slow because I'm not very good at multiplication. Okay, so then, can we simplify negative 5 over 8?
No.
Right, you're right. So we can't. So we just take the 8 and move it up in front. So 8n minus 5. And then that is our answer. So 23, the answer is n minus 7, 8n minus 5. Okay, questions on that one? All right, let's do a few more.
Can we do 28?
Yes. So let's jump down to 28. Let's keep my feet move around. Okay, so first we're gonna set it up. So what needs to go up here at the top?
70.
So we gotta do A times C.
Yeah.
So yep, so negative 70 and times 10. What's that? Yep, good. Negative 700. Make sure you bring the sign. And then what goes down here?
93.
Perfect. So now we need to think of something that multiplies to get 700. And then the difference, or if we add them, gives us 93. Can anyone think of anything right off? Okay, so if we can't think of anything, then I just like to go down my numbers list. So 700, I know 700 will be, it's even. So 700 divided by 2. So 350 times 2 gives us 700. But these aren't 93. If I add them or subtract them, I'm not going to get 93. So that's not going to work. What about 3 won't work? How about 4? 175 times 4 is 700, but these aren't, there's no way I can get 93 with these two factors of 700. So let's just keep going. 700 divided by 5. 140 times 5. Well, those aren't 93 apart. If I add them or subtract them, that's not going to be 93. All right, 700, what's next? 6? Well, that doesn't work. Let's try another one. 700 divided by 7. So let's see, 100 times 7. Are these 93 apart? These will work. Okay, so we're going to take 100 times 7, and one of them needs to be negative because the top is negative. And then if we add them, we need positive 93. So which one of these needs to be negative? The 7, good. So 100 minus 7 gives us 93. 100 times negative 7 gives us negative 7. Are you okay? Okay, so then we're going to write out our factors. This was 28. So our variable is m. So we have m plus 100 divided by a. A is 10. I'm just getting that 10 from a. And then we have m minus 7 divided by 10. So then we need to simplify. So can we simplify this one? What's 100 divided by 10? Perfect. So that one we can simplify. So m plus 10. And then can we simplify this one? 7 over 10? No. So we're just going to bring the bottom of the fraction up. So 10m minus 7. Okay. Questions on that one? We're okay? All right, look through. Let's find at least one more and we'll do together. Oh, this is our answer. So our 28 answer would be m plus 10 times 10n minus 7.
So any number in front of A, it's just gonna end up with another number, like for the answer, like how we did right there, like m plus 10.
It's always, so we always have to divide these factors by a.
Oh.
So whatever comes out here, we're going to divide by a.
Okay.
And here it happened to be that 100 divided by a was a.
Oh.
That's just like coincidence. It doesn't always happen. But yeah, that one's kind of a special case.
Can we do 18?
Yes, yep, let's do 18. So 18's over here. There we go. Okay, so what needs to go on the top?
6 times 50, right?
Yep, good. 6 is A times 50 is C. What is that? I think it's 300. 5 times 6 is 30 with another 0. Okay. And then what needs to go down here?
35.
Good, 35. Good. So we need things that multiply to get 30 and add to get 35. Can anyone think of anything right off? Any ideas? Okay, so I'm just gonna break this down and we'll see if we have, so let's see. I just start with 2, this one's even, 300 divided by 2, 150 times 2, those are, no way I can get 35 out of these two numbers. How about, that's kind of blurry. There we go. How about 300 divided by 2? Oh, I did that. 300 divided by 3. So 100 times 3. But those aren't 35 apart. 300 divided by 4. Oops. 75 and 4. Those aren't 35 apart. Or if I add them, it's not 35. Okay, how about 5? 300 divided by 5 is 60. So 60 times 5. Those aren't, there's no way we can get 35 from these two numbers. Okay, let's just keep going. 300 divided by 6. 50 times 6. Those aren't 35 apart. So we'll just keep going. What's next? 300 divided by 7. That doesn't work. 300 divided by 8. That doesn't work. 300 divided by 9. That doesn't work. 300 divided by 10. So 30 times 10. Those aren't 35 apart yet. 300. 11 is not going to work. Let's see if 12 works. 12 and 25. Would that work? If we add them together, 12 plus 25. We're not quite there yet, right? So these are all not working. Okay, let's just keep going. 300 divided by, probably 13 won't work. 300 divided by 14. 300 divided by 15. 20. So 15 times 20. This one will work, because if we add them together, then we're going to get 35. Okay? So this is how I do it. If you're really good, if you can see the multiplication, then this goes really fast. You don't need to do this list, but I'm not good at it, so this is how I do it. Okay, so our factors of 300 are 15 and 20. 15 times 20 gives us 300. 15 plus 20 gives us 35. So now we're at our factors. So we take our variable, so this is n plus 15. And then we have to divide by 8, 15 divided by 6. And we have n plus 20 divided by 6. So the first thing we need to do here is to simplify, and we can simplify these fractions. So let's look at this one first, 15 and 6. Do they have any common factors we can divide out? Good, 3. So we can divide both of these by 3. So we have, what's 15 divided by 3? It's 5. And then 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay. And then let's simplify this one. So is there factors of 20 and 6 that are the same we can divide out? 2. Yep, good. These are both even. So we can divide them both by 2. So we have n. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then these are as simplified as we can. There's no other shared factors we can divide out. So then we take the bottom of the fraction and move it in the front. Bottom up. So 2n plus 5 and 3n plus 10 will be our answer for number 28. 2n plus 5 and 3n plus 10. Okay. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like you could do it? Or do you want to do one more? Probably one more? Okay, let's do one more. Do you want to pick one?
We could do 20.
20? Okay. All right, so the first thing we need to do is figure out what goes on the top and what goes on the bottom. So how about 20? What needs to go on the top?
9 times 6.
Good. 9 times 56. And what needs to go on the bottom? Good. 45. So I don't know that. 9 times 56, oops, gives us 504. So we need factors of 504 that add up to 45. So multiply to get 504, add to get 45. Okay, do you guys know any of those? I should have learned my multiplication tables better. All right, so I just start off, this is even, I'm gonna divide by 2. So 252 and 2, but there's no way I can get 45 out of those two numbers. So the other thing I can look at is these are both positive, so both of these numbers will be positive. Okay, so I'm looking for something that adds 2 positive numbers to get 45. All right, 504, this is maybe divisible by 3, let's see, so 168 times 3, that doesn't work. 504 divided by 4, 126 times 4, that doesn't give us 45. 126, excuse me, 504 divided by 5, oh that doesn't work. 504 divided by 6, 6 and 84. 504 divided by 7, 7 and 72. So we're getting closer, but we're not quite there yet. So keep going. 504 divided by, do we do 8? 8 and 63. So we're getting closer. Divided by 9 is 56. So almost there. About the 6. 504 divided by 10 won't work. 11 probably won't work. 504 divided by 12. Okay. 42 and 12, but that doesn't give us 45. Divided by 15 won't work because it needs to be divisible by 5 for 15 to work. 16. 504 divided by 17. 504 divided by 18. Let's see, so 28 and 18. So if I add these together, that's not going to give me 45. So that won't work. 18, 19, 504 divided by 20, 504 divided by 21. So 24 and 21. Will this work? That will work. Perfect. So this is our factor. So 24 times 21 gives us 504. Ooh. And 24 plus 21 gives us 45. Okay, so now we need to take our variable and say x plus 24 divided by 9, x plus 21 divided by 9. So we're just taking a, dividing those numbers by a. And then what's our next step? Perfect, we're going to simplify. So let's look at this first fraction. Is there anything we can divide 24 and 9 by? Yeah, 3 good. So x plus 24 divided by 3 is 8. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then over here, 21 over 9, we can divide both of these by 3 as well. So x plus 21 divided by 3 is 7. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then we just take the bottom fraction, bottom of the fraction up, bottom up. 3x plus 8 and 3x plus 7. So that will be our answer for 20. 3x plus 8, 3x plus 7.
Just kind of long and hard.
So sometimes finding the factor is the hardest thing. So if you can find the factors quicker than me, then it'll go faster. I think most of you are better at multiplication than me. So hopefully it'll go faster.
Is this due today?
Yes. So, but it will go on your grade today, but we will have a work day next week. So we're gonna do one more worksheet like this. This is harder, so we're gonna practice it for one more day, and then we'll have a work day.
Alright.
But we have 35 minutes, so we should be able to get through a lot of it.
What was the answer for 18? Didn't see that.
2n plus 5, 3n plus 10. As you're going, I have a key up here, and there's also, the key is also posted on Canvas if you need.
Can I go back?